development theories. So in today's session, we'll be studying about the next theory, that is Erikson's psychosocial development theory. In our last class, we have discussed about a theory, that is personal construct theory, proposed by George Kelly. So in today's class, we'll go move on to the third one, that is psychosocial development. So it is similar to Sigmund Freud's psychoanalytical theory. As Fred, Erikson also believed that a personality develops because of a series of life stages which we grow through. So each stage in life has an impact on our psychology and sexual development. This is also through the social interaction that takes place during the whole lifespan. So the one of the main elements of Erikson's theory is ego identity. Ego identity is nothing but a conscious sense of self that we develop through social interaction. Okay, so when we mingle with people, with our friends, with our family, in school, around, so there is a sense of interaction which makes us feel good, bad, guilty, or confident, innovative, or shy. So the way our experiences are in this social interaction, that will have an impact on our behavior and our character also. So this ego identity is constantly changing. Okay. So the more interactive, motivated people we come across, the more competent we become. On the other hand, if the people around us are constantly targeting us, that will have a negative impact on us. Okay. So this ego identity, uh, uh, along with ego identity, Erikson also believed that there is a sense of competence that motivates our behaviors and actions. So our life stages clearly have a positive or negative impact on our lives and the development of our personality as a whole. Each stage in this Erikson theory is concerned with becoming competent in one particular area of life, right from the childhood up to our death. So every stage we want to have a mastery over everything that is uh, there in that stage of life. Okay, so if it is handled well, we call it as ego strength or ego quality. But if it is managed improperly, or there is a sense of inferiority which develops. So we'll move on to the different stages. So we can have the first stage right from birth to 18 months of our age. The basic conflict here is trust and mistrust. Important life events here are feeding, sleeping, crying, that's it. Okay, so the outcome of this. So if a child develops a sense of trust when the caregivers, that is the parents, provide a reliable care and affection to them. So if they are ignored in this stage, this will lead to mistrust, means they will not trust anybody. If they are taken care well, then they will trust their parents, and so they try to trust everyone around who comes to them and takes care of them. So this is an important stage of life where you try to trust people or you mistrust them. Second stage of life is from 18 months to up to 3 years. So here we develop the ego strength. What we develop is autonomy, but if it fails, it will turn into shame or doubt. The important life events here are, so basically that is toilet training. So children need to develop a sense of personal control over physical skills. So they need to know how to behave, what to do, how to restrain. So basically toilet training. So the personal control skills are very much important. If they have a proper control over their physical skills, Then there is a sense of independence. They feel that they have succeeded and they feel proud about it, that I can manage my things very well. If they are not able to control their physical skills, then there is a shame or a doubt within them, and they will not be confident even in future about anything, as these small things in their first life they have failed. They feel very doubtful about themselves. On the other hand, if they are trained well, they feel very much confident and have mastery over it. Then the third stage is pre-school stage, that is 3 to 5 years. So here the ego strength that they develop is initiative. If it is not managed well, it will turn up into guilt. The basic life skills here is curiosity. They want to learn many new things. So they are exploring things around them at home. Okay, so they are very curious, inquisitive about the environment. The children need to become asserting the control and power over the environment. So they try to have small experiments, small explorations around things around them. So if they succeed in this, this leads to a sense of purpose, because whatever they're doing, it's going on well. On the other hand, if the child who want to exert too much and has constant failure, this will result in guilt. They will feel that I can't do anything, because small things around their environment, they are not able to uh, clearly exercise their power or control. Okay, those small things may be just switching on the light or fan, or using small gadgets at home, or climbing up from somewhere and removing some, say, a biscuit box, something like that. So small such adventures, if they do it successfully, they feel very proud about it, and in future also they will think of exploring things and learning new things. On the other hand, in the small things, when they feel about it, or somebody is scolding them constantly, this will arise into a sense of guilt. Then the fourth stage of life, that is school age, 6 to 11 years. Here the ego strength that they develop is into being industrious. If it is not successful, they have developed inferiority complex. So basic life skills here is going to school, learning many new things, new subjects, extracurricular activities, sports, and so on. So here it's there is an extra pressure on the child to cope up with new social and academic demands. So they have to mingle with new people out of home, and even they have to learn many new languages, subjects, and try to excel in that. So success in this stage may lead to becoming competent, confident. You can say they become motivated. On the other hand, if they lag behind in coping in academic as well as with friends in extracurricular activities, they may develop a sense of inferiority. Okay, so they may be scared about competitions because they feel that I can't do it. My friend is better than me. Teacher is wanting too much from me. So if they lag behind the competitiveness, they may become or develop inferiority complex. Then stage 5, that is teenager, or what we call adolescence. Here the ego strength is identity or role confusion. The important life skills are social relationships. So teens need to develop a sense of self and personal identity. So they should know, who am I? What am I good at? What should I do in future? So they have a success leads to being true to themselves, being motivated, being confident, being not shy of talking about what they are or what they are not. While if they fail in this stage, there is always doubt about, who am I, what should I do, whether I should do this or that. There is a weak self control, there is role confusion, there is a darkness inside, say, having a confusion about themselves first, then around surroundings. So they're confused in everything they do, because they feel that they may lose or they may not be successful in what they are doing, because they don't know what they are truly. Then stage 6, that is young adulthood, that is a age between 20 to 40 years. So here they may develop intimacy or isolation. So here the important life skills is relationship. So young adults need to form an intimate love relationship with other people. So success leads to a strong relationship. They mingle around with friends, get into relationship, get married, get settled down. Okay, so there is a lot of responsibility, intimacy, which is developed. If they fail in bringing a strong bondage or relationship, they may be isolated, try to get aloof from the world, and try to remain lonely, busy in their own fascinated intellectual world. And stage 7, that is middle adulthood. So here you may be generativity or stagnation. So important life skills is work and being successful parents. So adults need to create or nurture things that will outlast them, often by having children or creating a positive change that benefits other people. So adults must be busy in their work and their family life. They should handle it very well so that they become successful in this life stage. So this age adulthood is from 40 to 65 years. So success leads in feeling useful and accomplished, while failure results in shallow involvement in the world. So if they feel that they have done nothing in their life, they are not good parents, they are unsuccessful in the career, then they will try to remain away from family, keep themselves busy in something silly. So their life becomes stagnant. They don't want to try something new. They don't want to do it. They do want to enjoy life, personal or professional. On the other hand, if they feel they have done something good, they have been successful in their careers, having a good personal life, then they are generative. Means they are constantly loving life, enjoying it, and there will be a positivity in their professional as well as personal life. Then our last a stage of life in this Erickson's psychosocial development, that is maturity from 65 to the death. So here ego integrity or despair. So here you are trying to prospect, having a prospection on your life, what you have done whole life, whether it was successful or not. So the older adults need to look back to their life and have to feel a sense of fulfillment. If they have a sense of fulfillment that I have done many good things, I had a good life, successful career, everything was maybe not up to the mark, but I'm satisfied, then they will develop an ego integrity. Means they are fully satisfied, feeling that feeling of wisdom. They will tell stories about themselves, inspire others. But if that adult is feeling that I wasted my life, I was unsuccessful, I didn't, nobody cared about me, all such negative bitterness is there, they will feel like that whole life is wasted, and they may end into despair. Despair in the sense they're not happy, always complaining, always bitter, grumbling over their children and grandchildren, and always nasty. So we have to decide about whether we want to have a positive side of a life or a negative side of life. So all these stages will have a negative as well as positive uh, attributes towards our personality. So each stage will have a long lasting effect which remains throughout our life, somewhere in our unconscious mind. So we have to be very careful about how to tackle the different stages, problems, surroundings, social interaction in life, so that you have a very positive side of life and you have a life full of, uh, you can say, fulfillment, satisfaction with minimum bitterness. So, this was all about Erickson's psychosocial development theory. I hope you have understood the theory. If any doubts, please raise the questions in the comments. I will see to it that they are being resolved in the coming sessions. So that's all for today. So we'll meet again in the next session. Bye. Thank you.